In this GNS3 topology, I've got Kali Linux, a Cisco switch, a Cisco router, and a victim PC. Okay, so here's the switch in the topology, switch 1. Show run will show us the running configuration of the switch. This switch is not configured with best practices. I've configured it with a host name. Spanning tree is enabled with the default settings of per VLAN spanning tree. No configuration has been done on this interface. In other words, it's using the default configuration. That's not a good idea, especially if you've got a Kali host in your topology. This interface, gigabit 02, is configured in VLAN 2. So this PC will be in VLAN 2. The Kali Linux PC will by default be in VLAN 1. We can verify that by typing show interface gigabit 00 switch port. And as you can see here, this port is configured to use dynamic auto. In other words, it's using DTP or dynamic trunking protocol, which is a bad idea. The interface is configured in VLAN 1, the default. If we have a look at gigabit 02, the interface to the victim PC, this is configured as static access. In other words, I've made it an access port. It's configured in VLAN 2. So again, show run. This interface, gigabit 00, default VLAN. This interface is in VLAN 2. Gigabit 03, which is not part of the topology, is in VLAN 2 as well. But notice gigabit 01, this interface is also using default configuration. There isn't much other configuration on the switch. I have configured some IP addresses. So VLAN 1 has this IP address. VLAN 2 has this IP address. This PC will be getting an IP address through DHCP from the router, which is using IP address 10.1.1.254. The PC is in VLAN 2. The switch is configured with this IP address and is going to forward DHCP requests to the router. The router in this topology is configured as a DHCP server. But on this victim PC, which is a web term client, which I've dragged into the GNS3 workspace, this web term client is configured to use DHCP. So cat etc network interfaces. Notice the PC is configured to use DHCP. These two lines have been uncommented. PC should have received an IP address from the DHCP server, which it has. It's got this IP address. The default gateway is the switch. So if I ping 10.1.2.253, the PC is able to ping the switch, which is configured with this IP address on VLAN 2. OSPF is also enabled on the switch to advertise routes to the router. So let's have a look at the router. Again, this network is not using best practices. I'm showing you problems and ways to hack networks using Kali Linux. So the router is configured with two DHCP pools, one for VLAN 2, one for VLAN 1. That will allow the Kali Linux host to receive an IP address automatically. So on Kali Linux, if I open up a terminal and type ifconfig, and I'll push that to more because this VM has a lot of interfaces, notice it's been allocated this IP address, 10.1.1.1.